The teacher who went viral for letting his students take out his braids was fired from his job. His students began texting him after he never showed up to his classes, which made him emotional.
Hey, bestie. I really hope that you see this message. How are you? I hope that you're okay. Our class misses you so much, and we really want you to know that we love you and we miss you so much and can't wait for you to come back. I can't believe that taking somebody's hair out is such a big deal, and it makes me so mad that people make little things big things. I want you to know that the class and others got your back, and we will always stand behind you and up for you no matter what happens. We got you. Again, we miss you and we love you so much, and can't wait for you to come back.
All right, YouTube, let's talk about it. Number one, do I see anything in that clip that was unprofessional, in my opinion? And the answer is yes. Number two, do I see anything inappropriate in said video? And the answer is no. And number three, could this have been handled a different way? And the answer is yes. Now, let's start with number one. Honestly, the only thing unprofessional about this obviously is that you're getting students, minor students, younger students, to take out his braids. That's the unprofessional part. You're at a place for learning. This is not hair class. You could have figured out something else other than what you figured out, and it could have been done better. So to me, since that's not a hair class, even though it was 10 minutes before class was over, you gotta understand the way things are now, the way these women feel about men. It was kind of unprofessional in my opinion. That's the unprofessional part. That's could have been saved for something else. Somebody else to do it, whatever the case may be. That's the unprofessional part to me. Having that done in a classroom as a science teacher, if that's what he was. Yeah, I think it was a science teacher. As a science teacher, that's the unprofessional part. That's where the unprofessional part comes in. Number two, inappropriate. Now, people could say yes, you could say no. I'm going to say, for the most part, I'm going to say no. It wasn't inappropriate because of the fact that he was streaming it. It was in a controlled environment where everybody can see what was going on. You got a classroom full of kids. You got 2 kids, maybe 4 kids taking out your braids. To me, that's not inappropriate behavior because it's not an inappropriate interaction. You're not playing in his hair, you're just taking out his braids. He has a rapport with his kids. They're I guess a tight-knit group. They obliged him to taking out his hair. So I don't really see anything inappropriate, other than maybe, like I said from the first part, doing it in a classroom. That's not really the best place to be doing that. But then again, it's a classroom. You learn in a classroom. You do things sometimes that's not classwork worthy or, classwork in general. But yeah, that right there to me, yeah, it's slightly on an inappropriate side. But for the most part, no, it's not inappropriate. Depending on how you view inappropriate, what your meaning of it is, might be inappropriate to you on a bigger scale. But to me, it's on a small scale. It's really not that inappropriate. You can see what's going on. It's not like it was in a private session. No one can see. 2 girls there. If anything happened, your word against them. No. It's okay. We're not gonna make this a big debacle and say that, he was doing something wrong. Depending on your view, maybe he was doing something wrong, but to me, it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, number 3, could it have been handled better? Yes, it could have. Most definitely could have. You could have got permission. You could have talked to the parents. You could have did something in a way that made it a little more legit, a little more legal. Because after all, you're dealing with other people's kids that are underage. if you think about it and you sat down and thought about it long enough, you'd understand that some parents, a lot of parents, they're not feeling that kind of interaction with their child, especially the way it is now in the height of men being men and doing certain things and, inappropriate this and, inappropriate that. Women are going to feel a sort of way. So, like I said, had you been down the road and thought about it and, said, you know what, let me get approval, or, let me kind of, get someone besides just me here or something like that, or, something that could have made it more legit than just you just taking somebody else's kids and having them take out your hair. Now, if I had a daughter, yeah, I'd feel a sort of way because I didn't know this was going on. But had you told me and asked me, and then I asked my daughter, and my daughter felt like, yeah, it's cool, I don't mind, I don't see the problem. But interacting with the parents first before you do something with their kids is something that you need to do. I understand you're in charge of the kids while you're in school, and I understand that. That's fine. And you have a, like I said, a tight-knit group. Y'all get along great. As you can see, they really care about this man. They were, texting him and writing him or emailing him, whatever the case may be, to see if he was okay. And I think firing him was a little bit extreme. For that, for other things I could see you getting fired for, but for that, no, that's just way too much. Way too much. Now I don't want to throw, pull the race card or anything like that. I don't, I'm not even gonna do that. We don't know what that was, why that was. We're just gonna keep it on what happened, and we're gonna say, yeah, that's why he got fired. But still in all, he shouldn't have got fired. A reprimand, maybe a little write-up or, a slap on the wrist or something, let him know, listen, we can't do this. This is not how we do business here in this school. Fine. I can live with that. But a total firing? Really? Now, let's say he had a clause in the contract or something that said, that kind of interaction is not tolerated, then I can't say anything against that. I don't know what their contracts say. But aside from that, putting that to the side, I don't think he should have got fired. No way, no how. Not even. You see how the kids react to this man? Firing him? I bet you his kids wouldn't even want to miss his class. More or less, you firing him, now what? He was probably one of their best teachers. They respect this man enough that they're probably always going to show up to his class if he was there. Now you just got rid of this man for what? Because of a interaction that could have been handled better. Yes, we understand. I get it. But that's not worthy of him being fired. It's not. It really ain't. It's just my opinion. You might think of it differently, but I'm sorry. There are way worse things you should get fired for, and this is not one of them. But let me know what you think. Since you already know what I think, leave your comments down below. Let me know. Do you think he should have been fired, suspended, not fired at all? Do you think it could have been handled better? Do you think it should have never happened in the first place? Or, leave your comments. Let me know how you feel about it. But you already know how I feel about it. And no. That's just not the way to handle things. Not the way to handle things. Firing him is extreme measure for people who really need to be fired, for interactions other than the one in this video. But like I said, leave your comments. Let me know how you feel about it. Till the next one.